You know what? Like figuring out my hair has been one of the greatest challenges and honors of my life.
You know,
I be fighting with that hoe every month.
it's like, why are you doing this? I want to love you and nurture you, and you do this to me?
Talk about relationship struggle. Can we just a moment for the hair?
Shout out to the hair for all the times you've broken combs.
You've broken my spirit.
I put deep conditioner that cost $20, $30 and it did nothing. Nothing. I've done twist outs and it came out trash.
But you know what? For every style that went wrong, when it finally went right, it was like, wow.
Yes, and it helps build character. You know, it keeps you humble.
Hair is the cornerstone of character. All right, hair is the cornerstone of character.
You can tell much by a woman's hair.
Come on, somebody, and you could tell much about when she don't have hair. Let me tell you about character. No, seriously, I will take y'all to church. Y'all don't even know. My goodness, to all our bald-headed babes, to all of our fully froed babes, may God bless you in your hair walk. You know, we talk about faith walk and how difficult that is. Someone needs to talk about a hair journey. Can I get a witness? All right. So, hey, y'all. Welcome back to Esther Alexis, Body of an Extrovert. Today, I am joined by my beautiful friend who is not only well-dressed, but perfume-obsessed, Paola Fernanda Vargas.
Ooh, full government. Okay.
Do you not want the full government? I should ask people before I do that.
Yeah,
huh?
I feel like I love how it sounds, but I'm like, what if people like look me up and like?
I mean, like they were gonna find you anyway.
Would they?
Yeah.
With what? Like,
because like, aren't you Paola Fernanda on like?
Yeah, but socials? I don't put my last name.
Your last name's on Facebook. You just got to go from one social to the next.
Oh my God, Esther. I'm out here thinking I'm a little sneak.
No.
And people are going to find me. Okay, well, then I guess we'll just roll with it. It is what it is.
It's a beautiful name.
It's a beautiful name. And if you roll up on me and I don't know you, I normally am not a violent person, but in this past year, I'm like, I'm going to scrap and punch people in the faces. So pull up if you want to.
Ooh, spicy.
But if you want to be nice and pull up, that's also like, hi. If you're like, hi, I saw you from the podcast, it's cool too.
Do that. Yo,
but don't roll up on me trying to do something because, you know.
I'm going to ask that people don't roll up on me, period. Like, approach me gently because I'm a screamer. Like,
she is.
This is so true. Like, you will catch me at the Stop and Shop.
Esther screams for everything.
For everything.
And it's not even like screams of it sounds like she's scared, but it's just out of joy.
Joy, fear, they all sound the same.
And that's the problem. Because at least if there was a difference, I'd be like, oh, don't be scared. This is just happiness. But you're like, ah! And I'm like, what happened? What happened? And you're like, oh my God, guys, my friend just had a baby. And I'm like, what?
That's not what that scream sounded like.
Well,
babies are terrifying and beautiful as well. So.
But were you screaming because of that or because you were happy your friend had a baby?
I was happy she had a baby.
Okay.
Whatever, man. But I'm a screamer, so just approach me softly. So
gently. Caress her because she
don't
is.
Don't caress me. I will be so scared. I'm so scared. Like, please, just come up to me and whisper, Esther. And then I'll go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go with grace because
gotcha.
I will have the cops called on all of us. Like, I will be screaming for my life. I wish it wasn't my first reaction, but it is.
But it's okay.
It's just how God is.
It's who she is, and we love you for it.
Thank you. All right. So speaking about people that we love you for it, as you guys know, if you've been tuning into this season that I have been giving people their flowers all season long, please don't wait till your friends are dead and gone to say something beautiful about them. So that being said,
because when they're dead, they're not gonna care.
Come on now,
they're just dead.
So I'm gonna give Lola her introduction, and then of course I'm gonna let her introduce, herself to you guys via the questions. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to get to know her for yourselves. Like, don't take it at face value what I say. I could be a liar or a crook. Like, I could say that she's wonderful, give her all your money, and she might just turn it around and use it for world domination. We never know. So please make your own opinion. But Lola, to me, is straight up the embodiment of femininity, okay? She is not only a girly girl, she is a girl's girl, and those are two completely different things.
Yes, they are.
While she looks amazing and smells like a bouquet of flowers and vanilla, she is also your fiercest ally, your fiercest protector, your fiercest defender. Those are also two different things. And she's a quiet force of nature. I think that you don't even realize that you are a role model and an inspiration for those that you sit in the midst of. And I think that like I wish that you could like gather that like more often. I think that you sit in circles of women in particular who like really revere you, and you don't pick for real.
Oh, okay. She's like, this is news to me. I'm out here and all of y'all and y'all and all of me.
Girl, that's how friendships are supposed to be. I feel like that's the magical thing about friendships, right? But no, sincerely and honestly, you are one of the people that I am proudest to call a friend. And it's ironic because we didn't start that way, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But like I said, I'm going to let the audience come to get to know you.
Yes.
And so here we go. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You are going to be as honest as possible.
That's the only way I can be.
Come on, somebody.
I have a sickness.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It is.
All right. So you're just going to share who you are. People are going to come to their own conclusions.
Yes.
That's what you got to do, folks. Here we go. Okay. So first and foremost, how are you doing for real? Take your time. Take your time.
That is how I feel. I've been better.
Come on.
I think I'm coming up from a little funk, and that's where we're at right now.
That's good.
How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Like, you're having a great summer, by the way. I love your summer.
Really? You think I'm having a great summer? That is... No, tell me about this summer. Tell me about this summer that you perceive to be great.
Girl, I saw you up in Toronto seeing Beyonce.
Okay, that was great.
You went to Six Flags.
I do love Six Flags. That was great.
You had like friends come over. You said, "Oh, me and my friends." Was it a brunch thing here?
Oh my God, no, we did a taco. We did a taco and tequila night. That was also great. I was so grateful for it. But go ahead.
Yes, and then you were talking about you were going to go to Brooklyn this weekend. You ended up not doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot. Also, there was a couple things in there, but you've been doing some things.
I mean, intermittently, like,
but no more than I have, and so I'm like, wow, she living the dream.
But you skipped over the part where we went to Philly together.
Yes, we went to Philly.
You know, let me tell you something.
That's the only thing I've done this summer.
No,
I'm being dead serious.
No,
I'm being dead serious. Like, no. I ain't been to the beach. I ain't been to the park.
The park. You've been to the park. Stop lying.
Okay, I've been to a park.
Okay, you've been to the park.
I've been to Sephora a few times.
Oh God. Jesus.
You know, I'm not a summer girly. I just feel like, but also I'm good. So I don't get invited much to things, and I don't know if it's because people are like, she's not gonna come. Let's not invite her. And so now as an adult, I'm like, oh, but I want to be. I'll go. I will show up this time.
That is not true, Lola.
I mean,
literally last weekend, I go, let's go to brunch. Both Lola and Margaret shut me down so fast.
Okay, first of all, you gotta go on my pay periods. Like that's it has to. Like I the insufficient funds would have, unless you wanted to take a bitch out for brunch, then fine. But it was listen. Just give me a heads up. But I'm down. For anything free, almost close to free.
Listen, and that's okay. But I'm like, but that's probably what it is. Maybe because you be on a tour. Like, you be on a public announcement tour of, don't invite me nowhere.
Okay.
I'm staying home. I am poor.
I'm taking it back.
Anyone who tells me to come outside is an enemy. Quote from Lola.
I would like to receive invites, and then for me to be selective enough to decide which ones I can or can't go to.
Okay. Maybe that's the announcement that you need to make.
Yeah. But, again, I'm not a summer girly. I don't like the beach.
I'm surprised you're not a summer girly because you look so pretty in pink. And I feel like pink is very summery and springy, I guess.
Yes. I love the colors, but, I don't love the beach necessarily. I'm not a great swimmer. I like beaches in the Caribbean. Like, once you've experienced the best.
Listen, come on now.
Don't take me out to this little puddle and call it a beach, and so, and I also don't do a lot of roller coasters. Okay, if I had gone to Six Flags, I would have been holding some purses and walking, and that's fun. And then I would have had so much fun doing it. But that's how I've been doing. But your summer looks great, and even if it hasn't been great the whole entire time, I'm glad you had these beautiful moments.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for telling us. Okay. Question 2, if you didn't know, Lola is actually a TV aficionado. She knows like every show, every movie ever. So what are your top 3 recommendations for shows?
Okay, so I'm a reality TV aficionado, okay?
You are.
I love me some hood rat shit. I love doing some hood rat shit with my friends. So what I watched this year and it really got me in a little tizzy, The Last of Us on HBO. Okay. I think it ended, the season finalized in March, and I really did enjoy it. It's giving me a little, I could watch that again. It really got me in my feelings.
Which is like, everyone's been saying that, and I'm shocked because it's like zombie apocalypse.
It is zombie apocalypse, but it's very much, it hits you where it hurts.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, what else have I watched? I could check on Hulu, actually.
I mean, I feel like you're always recommending The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay. So I have the Avatar: The Last Airbender on an infinite loop for the rest of my life.
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of my, I will watch. And funny enough, a few years ago, Netflix took it off their queue, and I was devastated. I said, "What the fuck? Who do I need to talk to? Who is the CEO of Netflix? Because I'm going to slap you." Because I was like, "Why would you do this? This is my comfort show." And like, I just finished watching it for like the 19th millionth time, and I'm like a little funk. I think that's another thing. I think as the time I was going to deep in my little funk episode. I'm also finishing the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm like, it's gone. It's over. Again. And then, but yes, Avatar: The Last Airbender, wonderful, great, wonderful animation, great storylines. I love it. I love all of it. We could just talk about Avatar now. The third show.
Go ahead.
A
movie.
Oh, a movie. I'm trying to think. It depends on what kind of stuff you like. That's the thing.
But we're talking about what kind of stuff you like.
But like it
what's something that you've watched recently and you were like, yeah, I'll do that again anytime.
Actually, I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm trying to think about. I rewatch things a lot, so it depends.
So, what is your most recent rewatch? If you say Twilight, I will jump over this couch and beat you with a pillow.
Well, get that pillow.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so how about what is the most embarrassing moment in your life so far?
See, that's the thing. There's just so many. How does one pick?
Pick one. Just pick one that you're comfortable sharing.
The most embarrassing. Okay. I'm trying to think.
Like, what's a moment that you're just like, I don't even want to think about it because I cringe just thinking about it.
I have these moments where my intelligence leaves my body.
Oh dear.
And it's like so odd. So I was in the grocery store with my friend at the time, and we were doing grocery shopping or whatever, and we stopped, and I'm like, oh, let's get some vegetables, some fruits. There were some limes. There's the Stop and Shop brand, and then there's the ones that are the name brand one. And the name brand ones had a deal for like 3 for $6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that means that each for 3, it's what is it, $2?
Yeah, $2 per line.
For $2 per line. So I'm like, oh, we got to get these. These are on sale. My friend goes, but the other ones are $2. I'm like, no, but these are on sale. And she's like, no, but you don't understand. They're $2 over here. Like, it doesn't matter. You just grab whichever you like. And I was like, these are the ones on sale.
They're on sale. We're taking these.
They're on sale. And so until I got to that register and they start scanning it and then they tell you, $2. And I was like, oh. I said, oh, I see what happened here.
They tricked me.
But the fact was, I was so like staunch. I'm like, these are on sale. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you're so dumb. Do you not get math? And it was me. I was the dummy.
It's that girl math.
It's not girl mathematics.
Girl math.
But also, I've had moments like that also. I remember one time, it was Halloween. I was dressed up. I was hanging out with Zaya, actually. Mm-hmm. And I was a little sunflower or whatever. And we're talking. Somebody that she knows stops us and starts talking. And this lady goes, oh, so like, what are you? And I go, oh, I'm a Dominican. And she looks at me like, what are you, as in your costume? And I go, oh, that's that question. Oh,
dude, I'm a Dominican. Yes. See?
I said, I'm a sunflower. And I just laughed thinking, like, wow, you have a whole degree. And this is what we say. And I remember those moments very fondly. Like, oh, so cute and so stupid.
You know what? I love that you remember them fondly.
Yes.
They could be worse. Like, I go to bed with my embarrassing moments on a loop.
Oh, I have those moments. I'm not going to say that in the pod.
I'll have nightmares.
Girl, I have several of them. I like wake up in the middle of the night with a sweat, like, you definitely said that. You definitely did that.
Covered in terror. Like,
I said, you can't build a time machine and go back.
Literally, I sometimes legitimately pray, like, please make sure everyone forgot it, God. Or just make sure they're all dead.
Don't you wish you had the little machine from Man in Black and could just like flash somebody and be like, oop, it's gone.
Like, run it back. I would like waste it all on like first dates that go terribly wrong.
On them or yourself so you don't remember it?
Them.
Okay.
I want them to walk away thinking they messed up, not me.
Okay.
You know? Okay, so, what has been going on in your life recently that you didn't expect?
So recently I got broken up with.
Okay.
I was seeing someone for like 6-7 months. I wasn't expecting that one because I previously had ended with him, and then he did this, and I was like, "Oh, you got me."
Reverse Uno.
I said, "Oh, I see what you did there, boy. I see what you did there." And so that's what's been going on, and that's kind of like kickstart the funk. And then now that I'm coming up the funk, I've been working out. So that's the good thing. I didn't expect to get back on my like my health journey because of that.
Is that why you got back on it?
I think so. I think it's because I was ignoring it, and like my body was restless, and I'm like, oh, I got to do something. I got to burn this, like whatever this is. Yes, whatever it is, I got to like start sweating. And then I'm like, oh, this is why. This is why. So
okay.
Yes.
Oh my God. Good to know.
Yeah.
So y'all have gotten to know a little bit more about Lola, and I will give you our backstory. So as promised, as you know, if you've actually been paying attention to our other channel as well, me and Lola didn't always start off as friends. And according to Lola, this is my fault.
It is your fault.
It
was a decision that you made on our behalf to not be friends.
On my behalf.
On your behalf.
So we met in high school, and it's so funny. It's so funny that a lot of my like good friends now are like people that I've known in high school. I say a lot of them. There's two, but yeah. So we met in high school, and Lola was a transfer, very similar to Margaret. I see the story connection there, and so she came in our sophomore year.
Yes, ma'am.
And we were in honors English. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. Lola was the kid that could not be ignored. She could not be skipped. Like the teacher would be like, who wants to read? Ooh, oh, me. Like, yes, I was. She would be bouncing in her seat. And now I look back at it like, wow, look at someone who cares about their education.
Also, like, let us be very clear. She would ask and like nobody would raise their hand. So I'm like, y'all are mad that you don't want to read, but I want to read. Make it make sense. Like, y'all are some haters.
No, it wasn't that. I thought Lola was
annoying.
A goody goody.
You thought I was a goody goody?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you came in with like, this might not even be true. This is just how I remember you. Yeah. I feel like I remember you in like Velcro shoes, like
never wore Velcro.
Velcro strat shoes.
Never wore those shoes.
Like the pleated skirts.
Never wore pleated skirts.
You know what I mean? Like I considered her like the traditional nerd.
Okay.
And like you wore these little cute glasses.
Oh, I did. My little Medicaid glasses.
God. Yeah, the Medicaid glasses went hard. I just remember being like, oh, this girl is so annoying. Yeah. And I thought I was so cool because I just didn't care about anything. That made me the coolest person on the block.
Gotcha. You want to know how I know for a fact she was nice to me in high school?
I was nice to everyone though, okay.
But, right, so if you look at my high school quote, this is really sad.
Stop!
I named you as one of my friends.
Oh.
If you go there, I did not list Margaret. I read that back the other day and I said, oh, that was an oversight. That was an error on my part. I thought, like, I hope she never goes back to that yearbook and reads and goes, hey,
want to go back to the yearbook committee? Is there any way we could get this corrected?
I think I just probably went over the word limit or something, and there was
probably and there was crossed out Margaret Esther shorter. Oh my gosh!
Let's go with that one.
Are you serious?
I'm being dead ass serious.
What did your quote say?
I was just talking about like we're like adults now. They used to tell us that we were the future and we are the present. And I wished all my friends, and then I listed all the friends the best. Yeah, I said, oh, baby.
Oh my gosh!
But Esther came to my house several times in high school.
Okay.
And like my mom was very like strict. Like I wasn't letting anybody up in my house. Like that's just not what it was. She came to my house and one day you were like helping me clean.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's my friend. Like like this. And then also I worked at the movie theater at one time for that summer, and I got free movie tickets and we saw Iron Man 3. Do you remember? And I was like, okay. And Margaret was like, yeah, we could do this. And I'm like, yeah, Esther, yeah. I'll get her some tickets. I'll get my friend some tickets. And
yeah, of course. That's my girl. Oh my God.
And so, yeah, and I know we weren't close. That's the thing. I wasn't delusional. I wasn't like, that's my best friend. She'd give me her kidney in a sec. I knew we were friendly. We were friends. I'm like, we're cool. And then I remember we ran into each other a couple times during college.
We did.
And it was fine. And then we got closer because of Margaret. And I'm like, yeah. And then Esther was like telling me a story about how one time she and Margaret were sitting in the school theater and I walked in and I guess I was just talking. And Esther just got up and left.
Oh, I did. I remember this. I remember being like, I just can't do this today. Like,
I didn't even remember. I didn't even notice you left. I was like, oh, she got to go. Cool. Hey, Margaret, what's up?
Oh my gosh. I feel so bad when you like make me remember this
because it's the truth.
She's like, you feel bad when I hold you accountable is what you mean.
Like, who told you to come to my house and clean?
Because first of all, you know how I feel about cleaning. I love cleaning.
I know, but like, you do that for everybody?
I guess.
Okay, Esther.
I guess, except for men.
Okay.
You need to upgrade me to the wife package to get this level of clean. So me and Lola did not, it was a misunderstanding, I believe.
Gotcha.
It was a misunderstanding. And you want to know what I honestly think? I honestly think that I struggled with recognizing you or acknowledging you as a friend because I was like, these were parts of myself that I could not acknowledge. Like, genuinely. Like, I was also a huge nerd. Like, deep down on the inside, I love reading. Like, y'all know this. Like, I have a bazillion books, so I obviously love it. You know, I love engaging in conversation with people. But high school was very much eat or be eaten, you know? And so I was like, show them as little as possible and you will survive. And then eventually that just became my exterior. And so I was just like, this goody nice girl thing that she's doing, does she not know that they're going to kill her? They're going to kill her.
They really did try it in high school. Funny enough, sophomore year, I was so sad because I wanted to make friends. I didn't make any. So I got real quiet junior year. And then people started liking me. And I'm like,
because you got quiet.
And I just remember thinking, like, you like me. Now I don't like you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm watching from the side. Funny enough, I think after high school, I didn't talk as much.
Really?
Do you think I talk as much as I do?
I think you talk to me.
Yeah, but like you've seen me in group settings and stuff. Like, generally speaking, even in the group chat, I don't think I'm always. I think I have my moments, but I'm not leading the pack.
Really?
Conversation on the day-to-day.
I think it's you.
You think it's me?
I think it's you
leading the conversation most of the time.
Yes.
Okay.
She's like, lies, okay, but
every day.
I would say a majority of the time.
Okay.
And that makes me sad that you feel like post high school you had to shut up to make friends.
It is what it is. But no, I think in general I'm not. But I how do I explain this? I think also when you're a kid, you're full of energy and then you just kind of like mellow out. I think I've mellowed out.
I think we all mellow out.
Yes.
Ironically, it's our 10-year reunion this year.
Yes.
I'll ask you what I asked Margaret. Are you going to the reunion?
I've seen the people who are going and I don't know if I want to go. Like, it's just not like there's nobody there that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see them and see where they're going and what's going on. But I also feel like I'm not going to say I'm not going to go because, like, who knows? Maybe that day I might just go and show up and get a drink and then.
I feel like you should just go and show up and grab a drink.
But, like, also, like, I can't commit to the idea. Like, we'll see what happens.
It's loose.
Yes.
No labels.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
No strings attached.
It's giving, this is the cool Lola we were waiting for in high school.
I guess so.
We're glad that you're here.
Gotcha. And I don't care about being a cool girl. I am who I am, and that's fine. And so if I show up and people like me, cool. If I don't, they don't. It is what it is.
You can hear the snaps in the background. Tell them, Michaela. Tell them we have a live audience today. But actually, the reason that I asked Lola to be here today was because we've officially been friends. I would say we've been friends since college era. Is that at least fair?
No. Because,
oh my God.
Okay, so... no, you want to know why?
Why?
Because at one time there was a little thing between me and Margaret.
Oh, I remember.
And then Margaret told you, and you told her to drop me
like a hot pocket.
You did,
but
friends don't do this to friends.
But at the time, this was before I had seen you regularly.
Okay, so we started
some time.
So 2018.
Okay,
so
right after college.
Okay, right after college.
So 2018. We became like peanut butter and jelly. Yes. Fair to say?
Yes. It's been 5 years now.
What? OMG, you're making me feel terrible. like she's
I've known you for 13 years, but we've been friends for 5.
13 years?
Because we met when I was 15.
Wow.
I'm 28.
I would say that we've been good friends.
Yes, we've been good
for
friends.
5 years.
Yes.
We've been acquaintances prior to that.
I just had to grow on you. That's all.
You know what? That's what I'm talking about. Quiet force. Yes. Didn't know what was going to happen, but just clamped on, wouldn't let go. Was like,
consistency wins over everything every time. Yes, it does.
Okay, so recently I was bombarding them in the group chat because I have a wedding that I'm going to this weekend.
Yes.
Super, super excited about it. I was bombarding Margaret and Lola with like videos, audios, like, okay, this is what I'm going to wear. This is what I'm going to do. This is how the makeup is going to be. This is how the hair is going to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I actually really value your opinion in these things because like I feel like Lola's my fashionista friend.
Oh, thank you.
Mind you, like as I take videos of myself, I'm very like, well, y'all have met me. I'm very extrovert. I'm sitting there like, damn, I look good. It's going to be hard for y'all to pick what dress because golly, I'm breaking necks, my own neck. Oh, it hurts. Like,
he's like, it's the dress, but it's also me.
I was like, I know this is where we're talking about the dress, but can we talk about me for a minute? Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was excited about myself
because you looked good.
I looked great, girl.
Phenomenal.
Good is for the people outside. Great is what I did. Exemplary is what I did.
What did Nicki Minaj said? Cute is okay, but who wants to be cute when you could be gorgeous?
Exactly. But Lola said something and it really like moved me, and I'll let you say it so I don't paraphrase. I know that I exaggerate sometimes.
No, so what happened was in one of your videos, you're like, I don't know if people are gonna think I'm conceited, but for saying this, but damn, I look good and all this other stuff. And then I replied, I said, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you say these things, I'm like, wow, she thinks very highly of herself.
Yeah.
But it came into retrospective that I don't speak about myself in that fashion. I find I don't do it at all, actually. And I think I grew up with the idea of like being humble and waiting for people to compliment you. And I'm seeing this now that as you give me compliments, I'm like, really? And I'm like, well, if I believed it myself, you giving me a compliment wouldn't be a shock to me. So we were talking about how at one point in time, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're a little full of yourself. She was I mean, you're not a liar. You're not lying. You look good. Well, but also like, but I'm also like, is she full of herself or does she love herself?
You know what though? Like it really was a raw and like honest moment. And the way I heard it, I know that's how she said it.
Okay.
The way I heard it though was like, yeah, sis, I been thought you was conceited. Damn, I'm so glad somebody said it, girl. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, but, and I was like, oh, all right, okay. But then she was like, yeah, like, is it conceited or are you just confident? And she was like, and actually, like, I should probably be talking to myself that way.
It made me uncomfortable.
Made you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. But, okay.
Not necessarily because I dislike it. I think maybe because I'm like, wow, she really likes herself. And it's like, why don't I
feel
myself?
That way?
Yeah.
And you know what it made me realize? It made me realize that sometimes I think that we need to take a moment to kind of dissect our friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's such like, it breaks my heart that it's almost a taboo topic to be like, I'm going through a different kind of emotion. Like I can be happy for my friend, but also I'm not exactly loving how this makes me feel.
Yeah.
And that's really what I wanted to talk about today because I feel like we've put such taboo on jealousy that we make it like you're a monster if you feel that way. When in reality, you're just a human being.
You are.
So I really just wanted to talk to you about that today. Is that okay?
No, that's fine. Let's get into it.
So first and foremost, I think the first thing that we need to bring out or say is like, first of all, it's difficult to have lifelong friendships.
Yeah. I've learned that recently.
My gosh, the work that it takes. Because I'm like, and I mean this as a compliment, but also in real life, I'm like, my friends are truly amazing. Like they're some of the best human beings that I know. So if it's this difficult to maintain a relationship, I'm like, wow, the work ahead of us is long. And so I'm like, how can we make that better? By being honest, right? Mm-hmm. And so the other day when you were like, yeah, like, especially for the Olivia Rodrigo song, you were like, yo, like seeing people get engaged, like seeing my friends get married, seeing people have kids, etc. It makes me feel a certain way. Can you elaborate on that?
So if you listen to the song, there's a couple of lines that I really resonate with it because I think sometimes when we hear I feel jealous or envious or something like that, it sounds irrational. And there's a couple lyrics. One of the lines is like, I know their beauty is not my lack, but I still feel the weight on my back. And it's like, yeah, like there's a rational part of my brain that's like, girl, you just fine. Like, them winning does not mean that you have lost. Like, this is not a race, right? And so even if they get there first, it does not mean that you somehow have been automatically disqualified. And so it was just nice to like listen to a song of like, yeah, your brain is trying to rationalize your feelings, but your heart's like, yo, why them and not me? Like, what am I doing? Where am I
going wrong?
Where am I going wrong? And then it turns into this like deep little black hole of, oh, it's because you're not shit. It's because you don't deserve it. It's because you're not good enough. And that's why. And these people are better than you. And that's why they're getting to these places. And it's like this like little cyclical feeling. But you still got the rational part of your brain like, hey, ma. No. Stop it. Stop it right now. Por favor, okay?
And that makes a lot of sense. And I think that one thing that you said is like, it's not a race. However, right, especially when we come from these very structured upbringings of like, we enter kindergarten at the same time, we go through middle school, we go through puberty at the same time, we get our jobs at the same time. Like we're on a timeline, right, that makes sense for all of us. And so it starts feeling like you're losing the race, like you're doing something wrong when so many people around you are like, they're getting chosen and you're not. And like, it feels bad, right? And I feel like I hate the way that society makes it be like, oh my God, like you're a terrible friend if you think for a minute, like if you're not like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
But like it is okay to be like, yo, like I am the friend who's waiting and I am the friend, right? But it also sucks to be in the wait.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I feel like for me, it's a bit different the way I visualize it. It's like I have two parallel lines, right? One of them is how I feel about myself and my confidence in regards to who I am as a person. And the other one underneath is how I feel about others and how they're doing with their lives and what they think of me, right? So generally speaking, these are parallel lines and they never intersect. And so this is why I'm having such a hard time. I could feel I could feel really bad about myself, but I've never had this intersection of like, oh, how I feel about these people. And so that's where I'm like, oh, like what's going on? So I don't know. It's weird. It's like not that I'm worried someone's going to look at me and go, where are you in life? It's just really like I'm internalizing certain things. I'm trying to work through that. But you're right. That like, why do we care about what people think? And letting that kind of like feed our fears into like rushing into doing things and not getting things done in time. And then we get these little feelings of jealousy. So I definitely get what you're saying.
I also feel like I love that you said those are two parallel lines for you. That was very well articulated, by the way. I think that what matters to me most, and
now they've intersected, and that's where the problem is. I'm like, because
intersect for me. If I'm being sincere,
they never have before, and that's why I'm like so confused. I'm like, what is going on? I'm not this person. I've never.
Where do you see them intersecting? Like, can you give can you give an example?
I think it's why them, not me.
Okay.
Because before, if I like, let's say I had wanted to go on vacation, right? Someone going on vacation would have never have triggered me to feel bad about not going on vacation. Or if someone was working out, them working out did not trigger me for not losing weight. It never, like, that's what I'm saying. They were parallel. It was like one never intersected with the other. But recently, it's like I feel bad about myself. I see people doing what I need to do, and I'm like, why them and not me? And then it's mixing like, well, it's because I don't deserve it. And that's where I'm like, I need to get out of this rut immediately.
Well, first of all, I know that you've already said that you're in therapy, so that's definitely the first step.
You said, I hope you did talk to your therapist.
No. I say that because, like, it's a very hard. Your mental health and your mental journey is one that's very hard to navigate, right? Because you have to figure yourself out like a puzzle. So it's always really great when you have an unbiased opinion that gives you, some kind of leverage. And I really like, I know everyone says this in this generation, but really seek a therapist if you don't have one.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing well, because you'd be surprised. Like, I'm telling you.
I was doing well, and then I'm telling you, about a month or two ago, I was like, what is going on with me?
Do you feel like you said that your recent breakup is what triggered it? Or was it before that?
It was like a mix of things, and I think it just heightened everything.
Okay. So then here's my question then, because these things don't just come out of the blue. How do you think that your personal life, how your personal history, the way that you see yourself, how do you think that that's contributed to that recent issue?
Substantially, because if I don't think so great of myself to begin with, and then you have these moments of like, you see, this is why things don't turn out for you, is because you're not that great. It just kind of exacerbates the situation.
Can I ask why you don't think so highly of yourself?
I think growing up, I just was reminded often that I wasn't great. And it's really weird because I got whiplash. I would get told things. I would get backhanded compliments. And so it was one of those weird things of like, oh, you're complimenting me, but you're also like negging me.
Can you give us an example?
So like growing up, I was really the chubby person, but I remember like people would tell me like, you're really beautiful. Like you're such a beautiful girl. You have great hair, great skin, but your weight, like you just gotta, but like.
I knew who said this.
But
family. They're so great at this.
Multiple people who are family friends and just things like that where it was like, it was a constant reminder of like, you're almost there, babes.
Almost there.
But you lost. You didn't make it. Sucks to suck. And it was one of those things where it was like a whiplash of like, oh, I got a compliment, but it's like also it wasn't a compliment. And it was like, were you really giving me that compliment or were you just trying to soften the blow? So like, did you really mean that I was pretty or did you just want to say that so I didn't feel really bad when you wanted to tell me what you wanted to tell me?
Okay. So do you feel like that's what makes you feel like, okay, I can't really believe in this moment that I'm the it girl?
I think that it has to do a lot with that. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll say, like, I think I actually can't speak for anyone, so I'll speak from the I. I know that I have also gotten my fair share of backhanded compliments. I don't even know that I got many compliments coming up. So first of all, girl, I'm jealous that you got compliments. But
we laugh so we don't cry.
No, earnestly, I feel like because I didn't see myself as pretty, right? I was like, well, I have to have something else. Like something else would be great about me. It doesn't have to be my looks. And so I was like, I want a great personality. Like I want people to feel good around me, right? I want to be funny, haha. And it took me a really long time to navigate having a personality that people felt safe around. And that I was really, really proud to like cultivate and was just happy to be around. But yes, I think that I also came to realize later on in life that giving people the authority, right, to say what my worth was, like I was waiting for compliments. But I was like, why am I going to give that power and authority to somebody else? Like so that you could leverage that over me? Because that at that point, it's never going to be my decision when I'm beautiful. You see what I'm saying? And so that's when I was like, no, I'm not giving that to anybody else.
Well, I'm glad. But I also think you have a beautiful thing that you did not let people in your childhood tear you down.
They did at one point.
They did, but I think you were a bit more resilient than I was because I feel like, I don't know. That's something I admire about you where it's like, it does not matter what I feel great. I am great. I believe it. And I believe you when you say these things. And so I'm working on that. And I do feel like sometimes, unfortunately, I remember my mom used to say something and I don't think she meant it for me, but she used to tell me there's no such thing as an ugly woman, just a woman who doesn't know how to take care of herself. And I was like, oh, if I don't want to be ugly, I got to take care of myself.
Yeah.
I gotta be on my P's and Q's.
You recently taught me.
And so I think that's one of the things where I'm like, okay, now I think a lot of the things that I do to feel good and feel confident give me instant gratification in the moment. But long term are not addressing any of my problems. And so I'm glad it's helped you. But I think the masking for me is done. I'm still going to do all these things because I genuinely enjoy them. I do. I really do. I don't want people to think, oh, you put on mascara to feel beautiful. I like doing it. It's like soothing to me and all that stuff. But I think it's time for me to be like, okay, what do we like about Paola? Like, what do you enjoy about yourself? What do you think of yourself?
I think it's a great question. What do you think about yourself? What's something that you enjoy about you?
Funny enough, I was watching the video that Margaret sent. I didn't realize how like I have an attitude. Like I'm a little sassy. I didn't know that.
You just figured this out?
I watched that video and you were like yelling in my ear and I like did a side eye. I'm like, who is this?
Bombastic side eye.
I'm like, who is this girl? Like with the sassy pants. And so I found that a little appreciative. I did a little giggle. I laughed at me.
Good.
I apologize to you for the bombastic side eye.
Girl, I still getting your bombastic. I just be catching it like, yes.
I didn't realize those things. And I feel like that's another. It's funny enough. I was talking to my therapist and we were talking about how I suppress things and I don't say things to people in the moment. And afterwards, I'm like, everyone keeps telling me they can see my feelings on my face.
Yes.
And I'm like, I wonder if my body's like, I've been holding this in, but I can only hold it in so tight for so long.
Yeah.
And so I guess I like that about myself, that I'm a little sassy. I feel like I'm somebody who tries to be there for my friends and I enjoy that about myself. And I'm a hard worker. I enjoy working hard. I like to be busy. I like to do things. I'm not an idle person. So these are things that I love about myself. I like those things. Yes.
Yay. I like those things about you too. Can I also tell you something that I like about you?
What do you like about me?
I genuinely think, like, I don't think that you realize, like, you're legit hilarious. I don't always get your jokes. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
Can we just talk about how you were like, let's get into it, like Blue's Clues, and I went, bow, 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 and you did not even laugh.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
But you know what? Like, Ernest, but my thing is genuinely, like, I feel like I'll say 70% of the time, some of your jokes go right over my head.
It's okay.
But when that 30% lands,
you're like,
I'm like, this bitch is a comedian. I'm like, she's a comedian. I'm like, she's a comedian. But I also feel like on top of being funny, because that's like just a characteristic, but I also think that like you're endearing. Like I feel like you're stubborn, but in the best of ways, because you genuinely want good things for people. And so when you talk about, you know, feeling this way, like feeling like you feel terrible, that you feel terrible about your friends, because literally even talking about your yearbook inscription, you're writing about how amazing your friends are. So clearly you're not a terrible person for feeling this way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm excited. I think I'm going to turn out to be somebody that I really like at the end. I'm very excited for that. And it's also like, I think a second puberty. It's really what it is.
An emotional puberty.
It is. I'm inching closer to 30, and I really do think it's like my body's way of saying like, we're not taking us to our 30s.
And that's a good
I think literally my body said, I've had enough. And the body keeps count.
It does.
I have not read the book, but the body does keep count of trauma and all that stuff. I think my body has for the last 3-4 years been like, bitch, I'm tired of you and you suppressing things, and we gonna come out and we gonna drop it.
It comes out one way or another, girl. Like
it's
your
forced.
teeth be clenching.
I've been clenching so bad.
Same.
So I'm like, what is this?
I think it's just me being idle and not having a direct plan for my life. But
it's
what is it you with you?
I think it's also the stress of like what I carry. But I think I told you last year, it was the first time I felt anger I'd never felt anger a day in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Never.
Yes, I think we had a conversation which went sideways.
Yeah.
And Lola was like, I was in the gym, like, I was like, oh my gosh, violence.
And I'm like, and I'm dealing with anger in a different way. Like before, like things would bother me, and I don't know how to explain it. It was more like a ping to my chest. I would feel that ping, and I'm like, okay, well, we're done now. Let's keep it pushing.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's not good for you.
And it's obviously not, because now my body's like, I used to tell them all the time, Margaret, I don't like violence. I'm like, violence makes me uncomfortable. Recently, like, I'm gonna punch people in their face. Yeah. Roll up on me if you want to. I got 28 years of repressed anger.
It's the Hulk. How do you control it? I'm always angry. That's the secret superpower.
Yes. That is the super secret superpower. I'm always angry.
Right?
And I think that's what it is too. I think last year was like learning that I'm somebody who gets angry, and that's okay.
Okay, well, that was a conversation I wanted to have today. I guess we're going to title this one about emotional puberty part 2. The one where she went through puberty.
Yes,
again.
De nuevo, yes.
Is there anything that you felt like I could have asked or should have asked that I didn't, that you would love to talk on?
No, I think you did a great job at asking questions and leading the conversation and listening. I'm very happy to be on the podcast. I'm happy to watch the other ones. I just finished watching the one with you and Sabrina. I'm talking about credit card debt and all that stuff. I think.
Did you see the one where I shaded someone specific?
And yes, but I'm very proud of you. I think you asked all the wonderful questions. I think you did a great job. I would give this a 10 out of 10. If you're watching this, you want to be on the podcast,
join us out here. So here's the question that I'm going to ask you to finish this. So as someone who is going through her second puberty, what is some advice that you would give someone who is going through it? And then what is the advice that you would give to maybe their friend group on how to support that person?
So the person going through second puberty, you understand that this is just part of the journey to grow. This is you're just getting to the next stage, and it's natural. It sucks, but it's like natural. And if you don't address it now, you'll never get to where you need to be. And you're always going to be, you're going to end up being stuck in a place forever that you don't want to be stuck in. And so you can't fight it, but you got to just learn to go with it. And some days are going to be great. Some days are not going to be great. But the wonderful thing about puberty is that it ends eventually.
It does. And you come out prettier on the other side.
You do. And you just feel better. I just remember when I was a teenager, I'm pretty sure when I was like 24, 25, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not 18 anymore.
Oh my God.
And so now that I'm going here, I think when I get to be 30, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not 26, 27 anymore.
You know, I wonder if it's a continuous process because
it might really.
In your 40s, I'm so glad I'm not 30 anymore.
Actually, I'm very scared of that. I do not want to keep going through puberty for the rest of my life. And I don't know if there's a different word for what I'm trying to say, but you know, the point being is I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. For the people whose friends are going through that second puberty, ask them questions, but also back up off of them. If they're not receptive, just let them know I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready when you're ready. When you're ready, I'm ready to go with you. But don't forget about them. So it's like a weird dance of like checking in, but also not pushing up on them.
And also acknowledging too, because I also think that we've come to a day and age too, and I hope that this doesn't come out the wrong way. We've come to a day and age, again, where you're just not allowed to be honest about how you feel. I think that it's wonderful that people are honest about how they feel, but also, like, remember that person is sharing their emotion with you, but you're not responsible for that emotion. No, you're not. Right? Like, I feel like that's something that I've had to come through from my second puberty when I was going through it. I really want to say I went through it. I want to say, like, last year and the year before.
Rough, yep.
Rough emotional years, man. But I had to realize that what people are going through is not a personal attack towards me. And I also had to realize, like, some people might outgrow me. They might outpace me, right? They might not need me there. I might not be the support group that you want for certain things. And I had to learn not to take that personally, right? And I feel like if we're talking about maintaining lifelong friendships, we have to be able to go with the ebbs and the flows.
I'm excited to see this video.
Me too.
Or listen to the audio.
Oh, girl, it's going to be fire. But like we said, y'all, if you liked anything in the podcast, if you had any comments or questions that you felt like we could have touched upon, please be sure to put that in the comment section. We want to engage with you. We're going to be dropping Lola's handle for her own YouTube channel and, of course, her Instagram platform. So be sure to follow, like, and subscribe there too. And if you haven't already, be sure to go and follow the Girl Sis Man podcast over on YouTube or on Insta to catch more of the two of us doing what we do. It's a lot more lighthearted over there.
Yes, it is. I'm a different person on this podcast.
You are. Don't you like that though? Like
very different. I was so nervous. I'm like, it's gonna be the same thing. Girl Sis Man different. Completely different.
Let me tell you something, girl. I go from one podcast to the next.
Yeah. You did great, babes.
It's almost like personality disorder. I'm
split, yep.
And then walk over like, let's get serious. Let's be for real about this, shall we? No, but on a real note, I think it's refreshing. It's refreshing to catch different notes of us as well. So y'all, if y'all want to go ahead and reach out to Lola, feel free to do that as usual. You know where to find me. Be sure to follow and subscribe over on Instagram as well as at Body of an Extrovert Podcast. We look forward to hearing from you guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.